My name is Jacob. I'm 33 years old. Linda was the name of my wife. We've been married for 5 years. I loved her a lot. She was everything to me. Our lives were good, but there was something off. We wished to have a kid. We wished to have a family. We tried for a long time. We hoped and were sad every month. There was a little light of hope. Sadness was like a big, dark room. Her dad was very wealthy and strong. He didn't like me very much. I wasn't good enough for his daughter, he said. He wished he had a kid. A lot of him wanted it. Every Sunday, we ate dinner at his big house. He talked about it all the time. He gave me a cold look. He stated, "A man's job is to have a family, to have a son, to continue his name." His words were like little rocks. Every week, they hit me. Her dad told me I wasn't a man, even though I loved my wife. Soon, my wife agreed with him. That's when the space between us began to grow. We chose to see a doctor. We needed to figure out what was wrong. We tested a lot. It took a long time for the tests. We were both very scared. "Just tell us what you think." Hope was not strong, but it was still there. The doctor called us into his office one day. He looked very serious. Then he turned around and looked at us. He looked at me. "The issue is not with Linda," he said. He took a moment to think. "The trouble is with you, Jacob," he said. It was quiet in the room. The doctor's words were soft, but I could hear them very clearly. What was wrong was with me. I was to blame. That's what I did. She didn't look at me. She did nothing but look at the ground. I felt so bad about myself. I felt like I had failed. The room felt like it had lost all of its air. I wasn't a real man. Her dad was right. It was quiet in the car on the way home. It was very quiet and hurt. I was scared to hold Linda's hand, but I wanted to. I could feel her leaving me already. Now I could feel a big wall between us. I was to blame for the wall. Linda told her family what happened. Her dad wasn't sad. I believe he was glad. He now had a reason. He was finally able to say them out loud. She told him, "I told you he wasn't good enough. You now understand. He can't really give you a family." Linda began to change. She became quiet and far away. No longer did she laugh. She no longer touched me. There was no longer any love in her eyes. That was all that was left was sadness and disappointment. Even though we lived in the same house, we didn't know each other. It was cold inside. The bed was cool. My heart was cold and hurt. She came to me one night. She had a piece of paper in her hand. Her hands were shaky. She had tears in her eyes. She told him, "Jacob, I can't do this anymore." It was hard to hear her. "I really need a child. I really want to do that." "Yes, Linda," I replied. "It's also my dream." She turned her head away. "But you can't give me that dream," she said. "My family is right. I need a real family." The words cut like a knife. The paper was given to me by her. It was papers for a divorce. There was a lot of sadness in her voice. "I love you always. I have to pick though. And I pick my dream. My wife left me. She told me I couldn't have a family with her. That was the end of everything for me. I was hurt. I didn't think I was worth anything. I sold our home. It made me think of sad times. I put my things in some boxes. I left the city. I had to start over. I only had my name and pain. I moved to a seaside town. The air was clean. People were not talking. It was the first place in years that didn't know my story. I got a small room. I got a simple job at a library nearby. It was very quiet and lonely in my life. I was just sad for a long time. I did work. I went home. I ate by myself. I read books. There were times when I felt like the apartment's silence was going to swallow me whole. I didn't want to meet new people. I didn't want to be hurt again. After that, a woman came into the library one day. She smiled and looked at you with warm brown eyes. She was with a little boy. He was about 5 years old. I knew her as Serafina. Owen was the boy's name. Every week, she went to the library. We began to talk. It was simple to talk to her. Their family wasn't like hers. She was nice and simple. She raised her kids by herself. A long time ago, her husband left her. She raised her son by herself. She was strong. We became good friends. I looked forward to seeing her like a child looking forward to summer after a long winter. After that, we were more than just friends. She made me fall in love with her. I was scared, though. I was a broken man. I wouldn't be able to be a dad. I told her my story one day. That's what I told her. I told her about the tests. I told her I couldn't have kids. I told her it was my fault. Serafina just listened. She didn't say anything. She only grabbed my hand. Jacob, being a father isn't just about blood, she said. Being a father means loving someone. It's about being there. Her words were a gift. In the deepest part of my heart, it felt like someone had lit a small light. They looked like keys. They helped my broken heart heal. I began to hang out with her and Owen more. I felt weird around the boy at first. I didn't know how to play. I wasn't sure what to say. Owen was okay, though. He didn't care. It was just fun for him. He asked me to play catch with him. We went to the park and played catch. He laughed when I missed the ball. It was lovely to hear him laugh. I began to do his homework with him. I read him stories before bed. He fell asleep while hearing my words. I put him to sleep. When I looked at his small, calm face, I felt something different. It made my chest feel warm and strong. It was love. A different kind of love. It was a dad's love. It wasn't my fault. It didn't matter what my blood did. Only love was important. After a year, Serafina and I got married. I changed Owen's name to Owen. I was no longer a broken man. I had a husband. I was also a dad. I had a family. A real family that is happy. Then we went to a park one sunny afternoon. It was a big park in a city close by. Owen laughed and ran away. I was after him. Serafina sat on a bench and watched us. She was happy. I felt so happy inside. I knew right then that this was the life I had been looking for. I saw her when I looked up for a second. And it was Linda. She was far away in the park. She was by herself. She looked at us. We looked at each other. I could see her face well. I could see shock in her eyes. She looked at me. She then looked at Owen. She saw me help him stand up. It looked like she saw me carry him. He laughed in front of her. She saw my family. My real, happy family. Her face changed. There was no more shock. I saw something else now. I saw pain. I saw sadness. And I saw a lot of sadness. I knew everything from the look on her face. I wasn't mad. I wasn't sad. I just felt sorry for her a little. She chose what to do. She paid attention to her family. She picked a dream of having a great family. I turned away from her. I saw my son. My real kid. He laughed over my shoulders. I looked at my wife. My lovely and kind wife. She was coming towards us on foot. This was my home. This was my life. That's not how some dreams go. In the important places, it was perfect. And I thought it was great. Thanks a lot for your time. Sign up to get more stories and practice.